Up with the Denver Broncos. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. It's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a give to Lindsey. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going with Lindsey. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Bridgewater. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. 11 yards there, 1st down. And you see the numbers for Sanders last week. 8 catches, 99 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. They'll roll him out right. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying, I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 51, Mike. Mike 51. Record. 51 to Mike. 52. Big stop, G. Big stop.
On 2nd down, Bridgewater again. Left side here to Sanders. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Mike 42, Mike 42, check.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, it looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. 13th play now on the opening drive. Will this be the lucky one? It's third and goal.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jair Alexander. But no doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Rodgers to try again after the pick six. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 25 yards that time. Well, no matter your experience level as a quarterback, you throw an interception on that first drive, maybe a little shaken up. Nice response there to get their first down. I think you make an excellent point. I don't care who you are. You throw an interception, it's going to get to you a little bit. But the ones that we've seen that are the best, you never notice it. They don't come to the bench, throw their helmets. They don't do any of that. They just go back out the next drive and act like it never happened. And that's what we're seeing here. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield. He reads defenses so well, doesn't he? He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Geronimo Allison, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And we are tied here in the second quarter. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here we go.
Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. This is Freeman. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
They go play action here on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. 26 yards on the play there. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Come on, baby, come on, let's go. 51, Mike. Mike 51. I got you.
On 2nd and 7, Bridgewater. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Let's go. Henry. 42's the Mike. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
I got one. Mike 42, Mike 42. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Mike 42, Mike 42. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey.
2nd and 5 now. Bridgewater. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night, they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe
blitz coming, and down he goes. Za'Darius Smith came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Me and you, all day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Mike 50, Mike 50.
To try again after the sack. Bridgewater. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Go Mike 50, Mike 50. Better bring it.
Third and long for Bridgewater. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Blake Martinez. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Rodgers to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Toward the pylon, caught. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So we're at halftime with ours, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Rodgers. To throw again. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with it.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. But Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, just a deadly combination, and we see why right there.
And we've seen it develop over the years because when Davante Adams first joined the Packers, he had to earn the trust of the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. He has it in a big way now. He'll throw it to him long, he'll throw it to him short, but he always expects a big play to result.
Adams, former second-round pick out of Fresno State, plays like a first-round pick in the NFL. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
15 yards on the play, first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Here we go, 50, Mike 50.
Bridgewater on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Sutton. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 2nd and 7, Bridgewater. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jeff Hireman. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And now the Broncos are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. They'll try and run with Freeman. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit.
Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
How about the timing on that one? Well, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pick up there at 20 yards. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. throw one to him every so often. But
touchdown, Packers! Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers have moved out in front.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I-formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Crunch time, defense. Hey, 50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. All right, who we got? Mike 50, Mike 50.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Bridgewater throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sutton. 16 yards, a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sutton. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Bridgewater's pass complete to Cortland Sutton. A gain on the play. First down, Denver.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Jair Alexander up to make the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Bridgewater. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Watch the slap, watch the slap. Mike 50, Mike 50. I'm scared. 50's the Mike, 50's the Mike.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they? Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Mike 51. Here we go, again. Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey.
Here's Bridgewater. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Throwing is Bridgewater to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Royce Freeman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got it off.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Von Miller. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is
now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And I think the offense is going to keep possession. Yes, they are, but they're backed up now at their own 2-yard line.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Fielded at about the 28. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And complete over the middle. Safarian Jenkins. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Preston Smith able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. All tied up. Less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go, 50-50. Mike 50. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Now Bridgewater. And this is incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To the running game, it's Freeman. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Switch. Mike 42. No gain on this defense, no gain. Mike 42. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, team.
Here's Bridgewater. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos have broken the tie.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
So that one, a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So now Rodgers in the pack. Down 28-21. A little over a minute to go. Their perfect start to the season in jeopardy unless they can score here as they've got it 1st and 10.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Back to throw. Rodgers. A throw caught by Kumaro. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Now Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers so cool in these situations, but he's got to get his guys moving.
Yeah, they have to be able to have that urgency while still keeping their cool.
They'll look to throw.
Hey, you got your first down. Get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Von Miller in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
It will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the 4th quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their